Well, a couple minutes late to say hello. Sorry to keep you waiting, my blacksmith Ohana. Was working on getting my fire going good. I ended up cleaning out the fire pot. Ended up discovering a whole lot of dragon snot in there to clear out. I'm gonna have to upgrade my containment system for it. Instead of just having it on a shelf, I'm gonna have to finally get a bucket out. Today, let's see who we got here. Hi Ben, Rob, Kevin, and John from across the pond. Happy to have you all here today with me. It is a chilly morning today, so I've got multiple layers on. The rainy season is upon us, which means a lot of moisture in the air. So even just, I don't know, a week ago at this temperature and it felt comfortable. Now I'm chilled to the bone. We have no fire cam today. Let me see something real quick here. Move the vice cam over. You can see a fire there, but that way you can actually see what's going on. I got the bed of charcoal fire going. I'm getting the coke lit up. Today's project is going to be working on, if you saw, I had a railroad spike on the anvil. As I finished up my brother's, let me turn this volume down, I'm seeing it's way too high. As I finished working on my brother's hooks, now I've got to figure out what I'm going to do about the actual pot hanger itself. I'm tempted to just send him something from Amazon. Let them take care of that. I get free shipping from them. But without being able to see in person that rack, I'm cautious about the idea. Go ahead and put some coal in here to start having that ready for later. But today, I'm going to work on another project that was requested of me. Add to Thomas Goodemout's collection of bottle openers. Ah, look at that. Time to switch over to the protective eyewear. All right, let's get that fire nice and hot. We'll go ahead and grab out the tong. Tong's made for this. Let's go ahead and put a clip on that so I don't have to keep squeezing. Hey, Alexis, how are you? Welcome. Yeah, 44 degrees is about where it is. Let's see, what does it say it really is here today? It's chilly, that much I know. It says it's currently 39 degrees. So, my wife was letting me know that my turkey hen, who we now have hatched 5 turkey, whatever it is you call baby turkeys. Yeah. That she wanted to come out and play. So let her know that I already did that. Mine, 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 he says, Network Prime. Does that mean that that's Thomas? Yeah, we're in that weird season, and it happens every year. Let me show you. If we point you out that way, you're going to see a tree full of blossoms. It is the cherry blossom, but in that case, it's not a cherry tree. That one's a plum tree, but it is that season. What ends up happening every year I've been in this home is that tree blossoms and looks absolutely beautiful, and then the constant shifts in temperature causes windstorms to come through, and all of those blossoms disappear. It also means very little fruit on that tree. Even though it's a very robust tree, very little fruit. So my fire cam, I've now gotten the fire cam too close to the fire twice. That's 2 cams down. But the second time I made sure to get the insurance policy. So now I've got to wait for a new camera to come, or maybe I'll order another one and get an insurance policy on that one too, and just keep swapping them back and forth. So the insurance policy said accidental damage. They didn't limit it from accidental damage by having it too close to my fire. Okay, so Alexis just posted a long thing, and I don't know if I've adjusted it enough so everybody can see it. So let me know, but I'm going to read it anyway. Told the truck pusher he was going to owe me a 6-pack every time he dead named me. He will probably owe me at least 30-pack before the day is done. Oh, wow. Yeah, some people never learn, right? Especially if they're doing it out of disrespect. If there is, Thomas, there's another way to see Thomas, unless that wasn't him earlier. I don't know if you heard before, because I can't tell if that was you over there in, what was that? Yeah, over in, dagnabbit, Twitchland. I don't think so. But, yeah, I'm working on your bottle opener today, Thomas. I've never experienced a heat shield, Thomas, so I don't know. It wouldn't be a bad idea, that's for sure, as long as it doesn't obscure the fire all that much. I mean, it's folly of me to actually want to probably share the fire with y'all, but for me it provides a comfort, and I figured maybe it would to you guys too, or to anybody else who comes along, you know. Maybe not to a smith, but I'm a smith, or at least an amateur smith, and it brings me some comfort. So one of the nice things about sitting around a campfire is just staring into the flames. Why not do the same thing around the forge fire? Oh, that's nice. That's nice. It's good to see that it wasn't out of disrespect. Oh, wait a minute. Ben suggested turkey attack. Hold on, I gotta go back. I dare you to wrestle the turkey. Are you kidding? I can hug that turkey easy. Not a problem. Wait. If that's what you want, I mean, that's a different show than the one I had planned, but this is easy. All right, turkey. Apparently they want you to be wrestled. Come here. Come here. Yeah, you're my big boy. You my big go thump 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 thump. You're a good boy. Yes, you are. You're a good boy. There, turkey wrestling done. He doesn't really put up much of a fight though, so I don't know. Oh, I'm gonna take your giblets and feed them back to you. Hey, Steven. Thanks for jumping on here. Oh my goodness. Yes, that's right, the Yule Forge. All right. Let's see if this thing's gotten hot enough. Oh, look at that. We have a hot piece of iron. Take it to my will. Bend it to my will, shape it to my will. There we go. First thing to do, we're going to knock in the end. And I'm not worried about that end broadening out, because except I don't want it to fold over on itself. I'll just push it back in. And my tong clip fell off, which means I was holding on too tight and pinched it closed. So yeah, getting wider is not a big deal. Just don't want it rolling over on itself. Back into the fire. I don't know if this tong clip is set tight enough for this use case. We'll see. Or maybe I need to spread. Birdhouse. The dogs live in the big house. Hold on. Ben is happy. I have now done. It's scripted. Yeah, I actually, Rob, you mentioned that, and I keep meaning to buy a pair of those flip-down UV shields for my glasses. So, hey Siri, remind me to buy a UV flip-down shield for my glasses in 2 hours. There we go. Worldwide turkey wrestling. Anvil stand. Oh yeah. The attempt that's the reason I moved, Stephen, as well you know. Well, it isn't the reason, but it's one of my happiest reasons to not be living there anymore. The humidity is even worse than the heat. We could spend a week in Vegas and I wouldn't die. I would just need to drink more water. But man, Florida. All right. Nope. That tong clip is just not going to stay put. So, fortunately, I don't think it's really necessary. This might be one, Thomas, where I actually start playing with the idea of some of those fun twist handles. I've never made any of the fancy ones. You see it's getting thicker. And that's what we want. In the long run, I'll end up spreading this out. I'm not going to need to get that much thicker. Hey, Eric. Dragon scale twist. Okay. I've been wanting to play with all of them. I know how to do them. I've watched I know theoretically how to do them. I just never made any. I got to see if I've got a... you know what? I might be able to even use the little bandsaw to do that. So, we'll see. Or I might finally get around to having to rig up something to hold my bandsaw. My portaband, that is. My tiny portaband. Just squaring it up. Like I said, I don't need it to be any less wide than it is. Oh, my turkey hen has decided to go visit the neighbor's yard. She's up in the bramble. Hope she finds something yummy. I'm glad you're able to get into your forge this morning. Already 100 messages. You guys are good chatters today. Forge scale twist. Yeah, go ahead and, Ben, drop it into my, feel free to post it up on my Facebook page for this live stream. It's Jack Pines Blacksmithing on Facebook. You need more wrestling? Yeah, winter gets in the way of taking care of all that stuff, doesn't it? All right, what do I want right now? Hey, me too, Eric. You guys are my commitment device. Keep me at my favorite hobby. All right, that's fattened up enough. We'll go ahead and start spreading the rest of that mass. And now you can see why I wasn't worried about the end too much. It's actually all about the same width now. There we go. All right. I'm trying to decide if for aesthetics I want to neck it down, but I think right now I'm just going to leave it as is and find my slot punch. Actually, I'm going to warm it back up just a little bit, knock those corners in ahead of rather than after punching. But I will grab the slot punch and then find my drift of roughly It's actually, no, I take it back. That's my punch, my round punch. Let me see. That's not it. That's it. My drift of roughly the same size. I think this one's actually just a little bit bigger, but if I push the punch down in it, it broadens it out enough that I'm good. So let's get these where we can use them. That one can sit there for the moment. Damascus, nice. Oh, you get to have a lot of fun with the baby turkeys. We have one that's absolutely beautiful. It's got tiger stripe colors, red and black. Huh? Beeswax for the win. 80. Yeah, don't put the babies in a headlock. A little bit deeper in the fire. Make sure I got good airflow. Sounds like I do. I've got one billet of Damascus that I need to finish what it's supposed to be for, which is just a center punch, believe it or not. Bought it from, trust me, I'm a blacksmith, Daniel, and have another project of his that I just never got around to doing. But I wanted to support him, so support him I've done. So it's not an uncommon thing for me to make that kind of mechanism of commitment. All right, you know what I just realized? My hand's going to be closer enough to fire that I think I want a glove. So we're going to go get a glove. I might be able to shed a layer after all. All right. The Smithy is heating up real good. Yeah, I gave Daniel Moss money. Was that a problem? I try to give everybody some money. I support John. Oh, I know his last name. Blackbeard Forge. I support him through Patreon. I'm now throwing money over at Yamez. I'm saving up to give Roy $700 and some odd dollars. Can't imagine what for. All right. I'll put this here. Oh, you guys might want to see that. I mean, not that you haven't seen it before, but let's bring it over here. We're going to pull back about as far back as it is wide. Take a look. Got that a little bit crooked. Let's straighten it. Take a look. That's better. All right. Now you can see that's about where I want it. And I forgot to knock those corners in. That's okay. I can knock them in after I've cleared the plug, as most people do it. I don't have to do things my own way all the time. 6:30. Oh my gosh. You guys have economized in some way. Good. Makes it even easier for me to save for it. Switzer, yes, thank you. Yeah, Daniel Moss, I think I'm really sad that that he's not put more content up, but at the same time, I'm hopeful Not that I know him, but I'm hopeful that just means he's too busy actually making money. You know, unlike Roy, who seems to be a machine. In Roy's case, I'm guessing it's because he has a team. And we know he has a team. Is Thomas about to convince you to spend some money, Alexis? Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the idea of having that in here. I just haven't, here, I'll show you around for a second. I haven't figured out how to rearrange my Smithy. We'll take a small tour. I haven't figured out how to rearrange my Smithy. It's not very big at all, as you've all probably seen. In that corner is where I have my vise and quench tank. It's just a little pavilion that I put doors on so that I could, you know, be out of the blowing wind. I literally am standing in the middle on one side to show you all this, and I could almost touch. The whole nice thing about this arrangement, believe it or not, is I can practically touch everything I need with just a small side step. So where do you put the treadle hammer, you know? I'm thinking the answer is over in that corner. And then rethink what's going on with my bench over there. I mean, as you can see, this is all on the cheap. And this is something I want just, you know, newbies to come along and know. None of this cost a lot of money. The forge was the most expensive buy, and it isn't necessary to spend the money I spent on a forge. You can build something out of a box of dirt. There's plenty of demos of that, and one day I might do a series doing just that. And now you can find freaking gas forges online for almost nothing over on Amazon. So, and if I remember correctly, that is exactly what Christ-Centered Ironworks is demonstrating and giving away. I just can't ever be on one of his channels to be part of the giveaways. So one day I'm going to go ahead and get back into a gas forge again. They're just very convenient. I don't know if you guys all saw, John Switzer switched over to just his gas forge and his induction forge just this last, well, I should say he just did a video on doing that just this last week and retired his coal forge. So I like my coal forge, so I'm going to stick with it for a bit. Thank you, Stephen. If you're just still hanging out there, the fella that was on here earlier, Stephen Silvers, is the one that introduced me by giving me a couple of bags of coal that I'm still working my way through. Almost done with it. I got to go buy more if that's, you know, soon, or start making some charcoal, collecting some wood on the property, make some charcoal. Because this is a charcoal forge that just happens to work with coal just fine. All right, clean that off so we can see the indent real nice. Get my glove back again, put it back in the fire because I did it all in the wrong order. Chat, chat, chat. All right, let's see, coming to the dark side. There you go. Let me scroll back and see what you guys were saying. Ah, that's cool. Moss contacted you. That's neat. That's right, Thomas. He puts you to work. He was saying that he gets to make a lot of videos because he puts Thomas to work. Ben, your dad's getting into the craft. That's awesome. I actually turned down my volume today on purpose because I was told that every time I struck the hammer, it was getting too loud and cracking everybody's audio. So that was from my wife. I always listen to what my wife says. Yes, that's exactly what I feel as well, Jeff. There's a piece of metal here that's I put some convenience bends in that are now very inconvenient, and as soon as the weather allows, which means this summer, this forge is going to be rolled outside of the smithy because I want to take the hood off, because at that point I have all the space I need to be able to lay this zigzagged piece of rebar on the coal. I would never be able to make the project I'm making there in the gas forge. Just wouldn't be possible. Yeah, get him to come to Quad State. Now Kevin's prompted. He needs to, tell us how long we have before we have to have our art projects back, or ready, I should say. The fire doesn't look like it's as hot today as it has been. Ah, there we go. You know what it must have been? It must have been that there was still a bunch of charcoal at the bottom. All right, let's do this. Switch to that. Come over here. Lay this into the slot. And give it some wallops. And that's why I wore a glove, because my finger just touched the hot metal. Didn't feel it, but I shouldn't say didn't get burned, but I felt the touch. Nice, nice. Let's get it hot again. You can start to see the shine on the bottom because the anvil pushes back wherever it is I've been hitting. But that doesn't mean it's actually deep enough. I can actually see that it's not even close to deep enough yet. It's just the metal cooled down enough. So we keep on cranking the heat. 180 days, 19 hours, there it is. Side draft hood would be great. This forge had a hood made for it, and it's. Let me pull you back over to the forge. It's not a typical forge, Eric. It's definitely not a typical coal forge. You can see its design is to have a lot of length, and it actually has what's known as a dial-a-tweer. Let me see if I can show that to you. Down on the bottom, I'll have to get a, sorry, you're going to have to look at it sideways. You can see there is a round dial with numbers on it. And the reason for that is the length of that forge, that whole length of that forge can actually push air through it with this little tiny blower. And the shape of the forge on the inside, if you're looking real close, is also unusual for a coal forge, because it's not a coal forge. The shape of it is made for taking raw wood and turning it into charcoal. I can actually demonstrate that. So I have an axe I keep out here, or not an axe, I'm sorry, a hatchet. And the reason for the hatchet is this. You take your raw wood, or in this case, scrap wood, split it into the sizes you need, pile it on the side of your fire, that V shape allows it to feed down, automatically just slide and feed down. What ends up happening is that fire cooks it into charcoal. It'll take a while, obviously, it's not instantaneous, but that's what's going on there. So, the answer to your question, side draft. I don't know how well a side draft would work, considering the depth of the fire is a variable instead of a constant. So normally with a side draft, you have the fire pot, some reasonable distance away from the side draft, and it'll just automatically pull the smoke towards it. As this can be a variable distance from that side draft, I don't know how well it would work. On the other hand, maybe if I put the side draft off to the side, literally the side of the forge instead of the back of the forge, maybe it wouldn't be a problem. I don't know. But I was enthralled with this design because I didn't have any. I have an abundance of scrap wood from the fact that my neighbor is an amazing handyman and contractor, and I have all these trees on my property that have down branches all the time, so I wasn't worried about ever running out of wood. And then I got introduced to coal, so all right, let's see what else has been going on here. Make a pair of tongs to hold your punch, then no need for glove. Yes, I agree with that, Thomas. That's a future project for sure, to get a pair of tongs, and then I might even create that tong groove. But if you look at the way I made this punch, and I do them different, every time practically, just because I want to have the practice of having different forms. One day I'll have a standard set, but this one I literally created it with the index, because this one was real important that I could always make sure I was indexing this way. Whereas if you look at my drift is all full round, obviously. You can see that here, full round all the way. That's normal. But if you go look at one of my other punches, it's full round. This is like my first. It's full round except up here at the top where I made it indexed. If I were to do anything, I would probably rework this one and index it all the way down. This one here is only indexed because it's a square punch. But then you can see the newest ones I've made, and it's indexed all the way around because I wanted to have that six-sided effect, just to have the practice of doing that. And also, it doesn't. I now know the biggest benefit is it doesn't roll. So, every time I make a new tool, I come up with a new reason to do it the way I'm doing it. I'm also making them longer now, so my hand's a little further away from the heat. It's not like I'm lacking in the material. Gallery piece. I haven't even thought about what a gallery piece would look like for me yet. I have started actually watching and may start playing with doing things like wolves' heads and things like that. The Ivana channel started posting some of that stuff, and that looked like fun. But before I can do that, I've got to make the particular punches and stuff for it. A trail dust truck. Yep, making charcoal is actually really cool. I've been saving the cookie tins, the big cookie tins. I've been saving those because it'd be easy enough to just punch a tiny little pinhole in the top of one of those lids, throw wood inside of there, and just sit it in the fire here and watch it do its thing. I know. I heard about it last year. It was incredible. Trail dust is a real giving dude. Not getting very far very fast because I'm too busy enjoying the conversation. Also because I'm not keeping my fire as hot as I have been in the past. So let's just spend a little time getting the fire where it needs to be. And then I can finish punching this hole. There's the color I need. Stop staring at it so I don't burn out my eyes. You're such a nice guy, John. All right, let's see if we can finish punching this through. Probably not. That sounds like it hit bottom. It looks like it hit bottom. You can see what it looks like there. I'll go ahead and aim for the middle of all that mess. See if I get it right where it's supposed to be. And the tongs dropped. Everybody can have a drink if they feel like that's the right thing to do. And of course they dropped because I turned the thing upside down. All right, back into the fire. I need a drink. This is what he'll do all morning long. And that's one of my two fluffy boys. The other one's just up there on top of the playground. You can barely see his tail feathers sticking up there. And then the third one is being absolutely gorgeous in his cage so he doesn't squash any more hens. Chicken hens, that is. I'd love to get him out here, but I think he'd fight with the younger boys. The younger boys fight with each other every now and then, so. All right. Just stick my finger in the fire, it's all good. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely one way to do it. I've got a barrel out here as well. So the smartest way to make charcoal I've seen so far appears to be the barrel inside of a barrel method. I just haven't gotten that working yet. And that barrel inside of a barrel means you're burning fuel on the outside of the barrel, and the other barrel then just has a pin, a small hole in the top, not enough to cause indraft. And it cooks the stuff inside, and then you're not losing anything in the process. But I've also seen what seems to be really good is just have a big old trough, build your fire on top of a whole bunch of other stuff you want to turn into charcoal, and that just happens. So I don't know. I don't know which is the best. That is absolutely right. I am here because we enjoy the conversation. But 4 of them, man, you're really you're dedicated to making that charcoal. Sell his shirt. Oh, there you go. Hard. Okay, that'll do the trick. Now, what's really fun about this forge is when you discover that your land has a bunch of black. Oh, what is it? Come on, you can remember it. Trying to think of the name of the tree. It's black something or other. But it turns out that it's related to I'm going to go ahead and just give it another knock from the other side real quick just to reestablish that. There it is. Ah, on the ground. I am no good with holding on to. I'm going to have to come up with the better tongs for working with. Railroad spikes. These tongs aren't bad, but I've seen better ones. The tree is related to both the mesquite as well as legumes. It has a flower on it that just tastes like green peas. But you get a piece of that and you throw it into this forge, and if you're watching, you can see it already happening, that the wood is starting to smoke and turn into charcoal. So it's just like having it at your fire pit, except the difference is with the added air, I get to turn it into something more useful. All right, let's get this back over here. Let's go finish this job. Right there. And I'm pretty sure I can push it through at this point. All right. It wasn't quite where it needed to be, so let's turn it over and clean out the rag. Almost perfect though. It'll snap off now. There it is, all clear. All right, and we'll do it the old Roy way. I think Roy is the only smith I see who uses the back of his hand to brush off his anvil, or at least that the smith bothers to show he's brushing off his anvil. And let's see, then I need this. I can put away the punch. Actually, I'm going to what was this material? I don't remember what this material was. I'm just going to set it over here on top of the other punches so that it's not touching wood, because my bench is made of wood. That was an interesting thing to discover my mistake. When I first got my gas forge, I had it sitting right on the wood. It did not catch fire, but it did smolder. Learned the hard way. And that was even while it was sitting on fire bricks. So, I mean, I didn't just put it right on the wood. Wasn't that dumb. Yes, black locust. Black locust, that's the stuff. And I tell you what, the leaves are, the flowers are tasty. And I end up taking and chopping branches off. I've got several of these trees. And I end up taking and having to trim back branches so that, because they sprout from the bottom as much as the top. And I take those and I put them into the chicken yard, and the chickens just absolutely love eating the leaves and the flowers off that thing. So, but it smells amazing when you turn it into charcoal in your forge. I mean, who doesn't like the smell of mesquite, right? I mean, I'm sure there are people out there that don't like the smell of mesquite, but come on. Really? You just don't know what good is, I think. Sort of like my niece who doesn't like bacon. I mean, I understand there are people out there that don't eat bacon because of, you know, religious or ethical reasons, but to say you don't like bacon, I think it's forbidden meat for some traditions because God wanted it all for themselves. Steel sliver, yeah, I've had that happen too. Okay, so this is a big old blob of text. I don't know if it came through for you guys, so you guys can let me know because I did try to adjust this. But John said, and while we were watching, my buddy told me, look, you could do that. And I was like, make that? And he was like, no, you're not that good, but you could keep your anvil clean like that. The pea and bean family, exactly. And it tastes just like sweet peas, sweet green peas. I mean, I'll go out there every now and then and give a little pluck and chew. Non-toxic too. There's a TikTok creator that I follow. I haven't been on TikTok in a while, just too much other things going on, to see if she's still doing her thing there. But she's here in the Seattle area, I believe, and she talks about all the things that you can eat here that grow wild. And her thing is something like, happy foraging, don't die. And she actually talked about that specific tree. All right. Oh, wait a minute. This is time for moving of the camera because the interesting part is not in view at the moment. We'll pull back. We'll do like that, and we'll see if I can actually melt the camera. Oh, first I have to drift it. What am I doing? First is the drifting, then, and that we do way back over there. So let's put this here so I can actually focus. Yeah, it looks like it's about focused. We can even zoom a little bit more over there. There we go. That looks about good. Let's go ahead and drift this thing. Then we'll go to the horn. Natural resource management. All right. We'll go ahead and drop my drift in the space. Try to make it so that I'll drift it all in one place. Heat it up again, do it some more. Charcoal's coming along. Not that I needed more charcoal in there, but you can see it. Let's go ahead and grab, well, I can't with this one anyway. What am I doing? Grab with this, pull it out, and that's almost all charcoal now. So, very effective mechanism for the forge. You always want to start with charcoal at the bottom, but then you just keep it going by throwing wood up on the side. Not that I need this fuel in here at the moment, but I just wanted to demo it. And I always start my coal fire with charcoal anyway, so that way if I get to gabbing too much, there might be something still down there keeping it alight. Hey, I think Roy's earned that big head. I mean, talk about sudden spikes. He went from, what, tens of thousands to 100,000 to 300,000, just like that. So that is an incredible spike. I hope to see that continued growth, mainly because his style is so different from any other big blacksmithing YouTube channel, and he puts so much out into the community. So, and I'd love to see more of his, I'd love to see more of his Baroque work anyway, and this makes it so that he can continue to do that. That's awesome. All right, let's see if we can. I'm tilting it a little bit because I want to push. There we go. All right, we're getting there. For folks who don't follow this channel real often, especially family and friends who come along and watch things later, first rule of blacksmithing is all metal is hot. That includes the punch that I just purposefully knocked onto the floor, and am, yes, using a glove at this point, because obviously my hand is just above the hot thing, and when I go to pick up the punch, now I can actually pick it up. Otherwise, I'd have to use my tongs to pick it up off the floor. Hey, Daniel. Welcome to the party. Airspace to protect my little nut. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's make sure this was able to be read. Some lady was planning to take some children to the woods and gather edible plants. She didn't know much about plants and wanted to experiment. Bad idea. Oh, heck yeah, it is. You don't not know anything about plants and experiment. You spend a lot of time making sure you know what you're doing before you put any of that towards your mouth or even in your hands, because who knows if it could be hard on the hands, hard on the skin. All right, let's go ahead and finish the drifting. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to drift it from the other side this time. All right, that's cold. We're not getting the drift all the way through this round. Getting close though. Let me show where we're at. And now, because I drifted it from both sides, any rag that was inside has been cleaned up for me. So you can see the sides are practically smooth now. That'll go away as soon as I start working around the horn, but I could work it around the horn now, but I do have a drift that can go all the way through, so I might as well use the drift that can go all the way through. Now the children were sacrificial. I mean, you know, I think there's laws about reckless endangerment, but I'm a grandpa now, so I'm at the point where I don't have to think about that so much as how can I spoil them and then turn them back over to their parents. You can see I'm giving my bunch a little cleaning too. It hasn't been a while since it's been able to serve this purpose. What's going on, Doug? You know I'm not the one you need to impress, right? All right, now I got her really hot. Almost made the mistake of grabbing something that could be too hot to touch. All right, let's push her all the way through. And there we go. That has been punched through. We are just a tiny bit thin right there, but I think when I push that material back in, we should be fine. We'll find out. Haven't made a whole lot of bottle openers, so. And now that punch can sit over here and cool. The other one should be cool now. Let's do the Switzer back of the hand thing. Yep, it's cool. All right. Let's get her hot again. Well, let's first actually get ready for the next scene. Pull it back, drop it down. And look at that. That's in focus good enough. All right. Uh-oh, who's being ring bearer or flower girl? That's funny. 10 to 12 kids you could afford to lose? Yeah, right? We're about as bad as rats if you really want to be. I'm sure she watched a YouTube video first. Asked to be in. Can you believe someone is that dumb? Well, Ben, you know. Tape him up before and still ducked. Hawaiian live stream. Say hello to the other blacksmith Ohana. From one to the other. Green, a green suit. I hope it's like a nice, subdued kind of towards the darkish green rather than something bright and crazy, but you do you. Hobbit sized. Fun sized. Yeah, there you go. My daughter's always called herself fun sized. She did finally get above 5 feet, so, but for the longest time, and my youngest son, the same way. He was 4 foot something for so long, and now he's 6'1", 6'2", something like that, bigger than me. So, but I mean, up until his high school years, he was little. Or Jack finishes the bottle opener. My wife won't let me work out here after a couple hours. She's like, you whine too much about your sore back. I mean, she's not wrong, but she doesn't have to always be right, you know? Let's knock those ears in. Bring it around. Surprised at how fast this railroad spike is cooling off. You're about the same height as my daughter, so. Well, speedy recovery, Daniel. Yeah, I start with a sore back too, so I'm out here, sore back and all, because this is just what it's fun, you know? For those who are just coming along, who've never seen a bottle opener made, which, you know, that's none of you Smiths in here. I'm just basically moving the metal, really surprisingly reallocating the metal from one side of the circle by pushing it over to the other side. It's just like playing with clay. Because I got this side's a little thinner than this side. So we're going to redistribute some of that mass. You can't move it a lot, but you can move it a little. Stop whining about it. See, this is the problem of me being a desk jockey most of my career. I actually can't really argue too much. I don't get paid to do this, so. But I agree, you know, telling me I've got a 2-hour limit. I mean, come on. Now, no one's saying I can only do it 2 hours a week. I just don't get out here during the week normally because I'm busy with work. Oh, come on. Tending this fire today has been a little more difficult. All right. There we go. Light up the mattress. Just to see if you still got the beginner mojo. I don't think that's really a problem if you've been doing it that long. All right. Coming along, coming along. All right. That's getting about to where I need it to be. What I really need now is reference. I don't have a reference bottle opener out here, and I don't have a reference bottle out here, so. Let's see what I might have. Do I have anything resembling a bottle? Yes, but I will melt that. See, this is the stuff that planning ahead would have prevented. Let me see if I can message a family member to bring me out a bottle o' brew. I nominated you for what? Let me see. Hold on. I think I saw you were nominated to show 10 projects. Yes, yes, I did. And the same for you, Ben. So get to it. Yeah, you'll get visitors at this point because I've got a lot of friends in the art in the various artistic endeavors. Um, so whether that's performing arts or leather smithing or drawing or whatever, that's the kind of people I typically collect. So. I think that might not be a horrible way to do it. I mean, if you don't want to nominate folks, that's cool. I mean, if you don't want to participate, that's cool too. I mean, I understand. There are certain things I absolutely will not participate with, like all those that talk about your favorite dog, or list these, answer these 10 questions. It's like, nope, that's not happening. Those are personally identifiable things that folks love to try and get off of social media. So, not gonna happen. Just thinning it out just a little bit. I'm gonna bring. You can see it's not quite as thick around now because I thinned it out. I'll end up transitioning it down. It is very easy to accidentally overforge just one side of your circle. And when I say side, I mean top side versus bottom side. So, keeping an eye on that. Made that mistake in the past. And it hit the ground, so Kevin, enjoy your tea. Do a little planishing now. Yeah, flip it around. Let's try it again. There we go. Just keeping an eye on which side is ending up being forged the most. Previous bottle openers I've made have been a bit chunky looking because I didn't bother with the planishing stage. So, my wife kept the first one I ever made, also made of a railroad spike. So I'll probably do a picture of before and after. Out of tea. Uh-oh, somebody's name calling. Let me see what's going on. My fuel filter took over. Gargling peanut butter. Never again will I participate in that activity. I don't know. If you're talking about gargling peanut butter, yeah, it's probably not a good idea. And I think I'm going to stop the use of this, the combustion of this charcoal in a very, very obvious way, because it is now all charcoal. So that 2x4 that I split into 2x2 has been cooked through and through. It is charcoal. And take it over here. We'll give it a dip, and we're going to use it as my charcoal for next week for keeping the forge hot. Yes, it's waterlogged. Doesn't matter. It'll dry by then. It'll also cook out by then. As a matter of fact, it being hot right now, it'll probably steam off everything I just did. So I'll set it here on top of my coal, because the coal will not light from that, whereas the charcoal would. Do the same thing here. This is one of the things I have seen, even with the process of making charcoal in barrels. They'll just get it to a point, and then they'll just soak that wood and stop the process in its tracks. And I'll keep an eye on that, probably do it again. All right. Pasture weed. That does not sound tasty. And I've got a neighbor here. I mean, it's marijuana is perfectly legal in this state, recreationally, that is. Now, I've got a neighbor here that grows her own, and I don't really partake myself because my brain chemistry doesn't work the same as a lot of folks out there. I just end up getting hyper fixated on stuff for like seconds at a time. So not so much fun. But in my college years, I had mates who would use a bong. And I'm telling you what, there is nothing about bong water that smells good. So I cannot imagine, and I don't even care for the flavor of the oils or anything like that from that stuff. So I can't imagine that a tea made out of it would be any good. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was meaning to say too, Rob. Hey, Shane. Thanks for jumping in here. Take one of the disposable kids with you to harvest the tea. Yep, that's the way to do it. They can taste it to tell if it's fresh. Yeah, that's exactly what I need to do on my property. It's that time of year. All right, let's give it a nice brushing because I cooked it a little much. The colors in my forge are not what I expect this time, so I'm going to go ahead and see about necking right there. And then do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to reposition it on it. There we go. Yeah, that looks nice. I like that. Flatten it. Blend it. All right, now it's time to start knocking corners off. this side. All right, that takes care of that. Now the hard part is we got to do it again the other way. Let's see, yep, like that. All right. And I say it's the hard step because now I'm pulling against, I'm pushing instead of pulling. Flip it around, do it again. See if I can get in there with the, you know what? I'm going to do it with the tiny little ball peen I have. Tiny little ball peen. Nope. Nope. All right, tiny rounding hammer. Ball peen will come back in use here in a minute. Okay. You're not getting to see any of that pain of me trying to work it around in a direction that isn't easy. All right, I'm going to get it hot again, and we're going to use this little rounding hammer. Actually, no, we're not. We're going to use this. That's going to get in there perfect. Yeah, a lot of conversation in here today. Balsam fir tea. Hemlock, huh? Ah, Shane's getting one of the treadle hammers. Nice. Yeah, grocery stores are good, but it's not very adventurous. I mean, if you're doing all your shopping at Aldi, that's not really that very uptown, right? So, all right, let's try this again. Go like this. There we go. I was able to now bring that all the way up there. That's what needed to happen. Flip it around, do it again. Coffee style hammer for the win. All right, then I get to do it again on the other side. And flip it around, do it again. Done. Get it all nice and lined up again, because everything gets just a little twisted when you're doing that around the horn like that. All right, another big blob of text. Thomas, when I was a kid and not feeling well, an older gentleman, probably younger than I am now, made me a cup of hemlock tea with a shot of rock and rye, then sent me to bed. Man, I was not always doing as well as I am today. And Aldi's not the best place in the world to shop, but it kept my family fed, so I was quite happy to have an option. All right, let's take a look at that. Oh, sounds like they're coming to get me. I know. It's cacophony out there. You're joining in, aren't you? All right, let's leave that in there. We're gonna come back up to the face of the anvil because that's where the excitement is now. Well, I mean, except unless you're listening to all the sirens and then you know where the real excitement is. Nope, wrong way. That's what she said. I mean, there's the place I want to be. Yeah, there was a bunch of sirens going on. And if it's sirens or trains, they're all about it. They're going to let you know that they think it's a ruckus that they need to join in on. Okay. Continue bringing that back. All right, that I think looks pretty good. I'm not disappointed with that. And just eyeballing it, I'm pretty sure that's going to work. Now, last step before I worry about the handle. And now you're going to see why I have this tiny, tiny, tiny little ball peen hammer. And where did I put it? Now, how would I be able to lose? There it is. And a little brass hammer. I bet you already know what's going to happen. And go ahead and put this one away because I don't think I need it now. This ball peen hammer is my first handled tool that I don't use as a hammer. Unless you count the axe. I guess that's not a hammer either. All right, give it a nice little brush. Give it a pretty little before shot, which is to say, we don't have a thing that can grab the bottle's edge. Then we come over here, and start remedying that. Almost there. I use it as a wrench. How'd you know? I didn't think anybody would guess. finish that up. I'm rocking it forward just to push that material where I want it. It changes the angle at which I'm actually pushing the material. And there you have it. We now have a tab that'll fit under the lid and do the trick. That's it. That is a bottle opener. Next is the handle. And we put away our sacrificial brass hammer. No flying off chips of steel going to be getting in any bad places with that. And I decided I would get that brass hammer mainly because I didn't know what the material of that hammer would be. And so, better to be safe than sorry. Yeah, I didn't control, so Thomas, you can approve or disapprove, but I didn't quite control for where that tab is as well as I wanted to. It's not centered as nicely as I would like, but I'm pretty sure it'll still work. We will test it. All right, time for brushing. And then we move on to well, we need a test is what we need now. Let's see, I just got a message. And the message says, phone with Gracie, that's my neighbor, one of them. All right. My wife is thinking I want to drink a beer out here, and I'm like, no, 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 no. This isn't for drinking. This is for testing the bottle opener. So let me... Coke and Pepsi are the same thing. That's fighting words right there, especially if you live in Atlanta. Let me scroll back. What started that stuff? Oh my gosh. Tab, I prefer Coke Zero. I have to agree, Coke Zero is pretty good. I got to try the new Pepsi though. I will say, you know, got to determine if it's any good. The depression, right? My mom used to drink Tab. It was disgusting. And Ben on a can, yes, absolutely. If Ben isn't making, string cans for his kids, he's not a good dad. I'm kidding then, there, Ben, but you know, you still should. All right. I ordered a new wire wheel, so that'll be coming today. We can see about using up this one today. Give it a nice cleanup before I go ahead and start marking where I want to put my cuts. And I'm leaving these corners sharp here. You can see the transition back into the square stock is where I took the corners off. But everywhere else I left square. All right, that's looking pretty good. I'll go ahead and stop holding it there. We'll cool off my tongs. And yep, they were hot. Grab my other tongs. Thank you. Oh, even better. Instead of a bottle of beer, they brought me out something tasty. Nice tasty beverage. Really good. I'm not like selling anything, but I can't complain when they bring me out, you know, something appropriate to the farm, and really good ginger beer. And I'm giving it a good clean before I go ahead and quench it. Let's go ahead and move that out of the way for a minute. Thank you, Susie. You guys haven't met Susie yet. She's the wife I inherited when my wife said that her best friend needed a place to land. And she's what I refer to as my platonic wife, and she's awesome. Yeah, there we go. Look, Thomas, very clearly marked railroad spike. That's always nice to see. Not that I know what the markings mean, but there you have it. Let's quench it off and have ourselves a ginger beer. Yep. All right. Now, I did not make this the way I think I've seen so many, which is with the tab being this way. And it may very well be that way by the time I'm done because of the twists I'll end up putting in. Because I do like the spike head hanging down below my fingers. But when it came to actually working it, it was a lot easier to work it this way. So that's the way I worked it. So we're going to test it that way. And yeah, not a problem. Here, we're going to go ahead and go to the bigger picture here. Smithy. Not a problem. Oh yeah, smushing that like button's always welcome. I always appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, do that subscription thing too. And if you want to know when I go live, then you're going to have to hit that stupid bell that everybody has to hit now. But cheers, folks. Here's to your good health. So the next step on this let me scroll down here in a minute. Oh, John also collects bottle openers, Thomas? Because if so, I definitely have to send him one. Zima. Oh, I liked Zima. Openers tab. Yeah, absolutely, Thomas. I need one from you. Yeah, yeah, you're lucky not to have it there. And I am not going to start the handle today because I definitely need to go back and watch a couple of videos to make sure I know what the right depth for cutting in the diagonal cuts are. I don't want to make the mistake of cutting it so deep that they just twist off and I get to start all over again then. Uh, that's a good question, Thomas. Hmm, I don't have any steak turners. I think the steak turner would be the way to go. Um, um, Nemo, what are you going on about? Why would I silence you? You're here. You say hello. You have a nice conversation with other Smiths. I'm not silencing you. Now you get to the point where you do something silly, then we'll talk about it. But welcome to the Ohana. Be good to people. That's very cool, Thomas. I really would love to take a trip over and spend a day watching John go through his process, the making of the videos, the editing of the videos, all of it. Just because I really enjoy how he puts all of that together. I would love to do the same thing over at Roy's Smithy as well. Oh, hey Ben. I didn't mean to shut you up. What did you do that for? Yeah, said something naughty? What? Let's roll back. Ben. I don't know why it would have shut you up. Hit that like button. That's not a bad thing to say. Oh, I know what happened. You got put in timeout for all caps. That's naughty talk is to go massive everything all caps. Some all caps doesn't, I don't think it matter, but if you do the whole message in all caps, it'll put you in timeout. Yeah, you'll get muted for I think 30 seconds is all. Yeah, Kevin's been in timeout a couple of times, but he just jumps on here from one of his others. I just, I appreciate that you guys even bother to do that. You know, me, I know I don't have multiple accounts, so I would just sit there in timeout for a moment and feel chastised. uh, so I think that's going to be the end of my effort, a blacksmithing effort today. But I'm happy to just have this conversation with you guys. It's always fun to see such a busy chat channel. Make me take what most Smiths would do in 30 minutes and fill up an hour and 45 to get it done, because I'm actually enjoying the time and the camaraderie. So put away this tool. Bring back out the good old regular glasses. Well, Eric, you missed all the fun. I mean, even Ben got put in timeout. In case you don't know it, Nemo's Forge is Ben. Now we know he has an alias. Oh, I get it. Oh my God, that's too much funny. Of course, I should have thought of you as Nemo in Finding Nemo. So, what should I make next week? I mean, I'm gonna probably finish do the twist on this thing, but I got to think about what in the world am I gonna make next week? If you guys have suggestions, drop a message in the video, and I'll pick something from that. Otherwise, I'll have to turn to Chat GPT and ask it what it thinks I can make in a couple hours time. A production run of openers. That means I have to stop talking. Daniel, do you think that's really possible? Yes, that's a good idea, Eric. I need a set of bending forks. That's a really good idea. Candle holder's a good one too. I really want to learn how to make the little candle holder the cup part. I've seen it done a bunch of times, but I really do think the bending forks might be the right way to go. I can smith and talk. Oh, have you watched the 2 hours that just went by? So, folks, I'm going to start the tear down here while we chat a little, just a few minutes more. All that entails is unplugging a few cameras that you don't need to see anymore. Like, I could show you the turkey one more time, but nah. Especially if you've got ADHD and you just get sidetracked by the talking part and you burn up the piece that you got in the fire. A bazillion types of candle holders, huh? That's, I've thought about doing, so there are 2 series that are out there that I followed the whole way through, which was all the bottle openers. There was a gentleman, I can't remember his name. I don't think I've seen him make any new videos in a while, but he did a whole series of just making different kinds of bottle openers. That was awesome. There was, of course, John Switzer's awesome Hook of the Week. That was a fun series because who knew the variety of hooks that are out there? Yeah, you're right. I could make a nail header. The question I have never answered, Thomas, is how many nails do I need in the long run here? And do they sell? Because if I don't need them, and yet I'm going to be making nails, a bunch of nails, the obvious thing is sell them. So. A little BTS right now. What I do when I'm tearing down. I take out my rarely used, because I don't work with stuff big enough yet, tool stand. Put my gear that I'm going to pack up in it, or hang it off there and pack up. Let's see what else. Turkey. Good luck with that. I would like to see the Turkey Forge a bottle opener too. Do you know, though, you do make me think, could I make a turkey-shaped bottle opener? I'm going to have to give that a little thought. Scrolling back, what did I miss? About 80 of something? Spanish dueling pistol. No, there is a dude out there who's been making that, what is it, something iron, forge and iron or something like that. He has been basically making his own flintlock. It's incredible. I haven't continued to follow him in a while, but he was making his own barrel and everything. Break down and load out. There you go. Ulfbert's sword. You know, I have a dear friend who absolutely is just itching for me to make a katana. And I told him that, let's start with tanto. Then we'll talk about maybe a katana. That's a lot of skill that I don't yet have. Nails, could a nail header head if a nail header couldn't head nails? That's it, veteran wood and iron. Man, the guy is doing an incredible job. I honestly need to go back and see if he actually finished it. The family, you know the term too. We use that here. Love our family a lot. Iron and wood. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah. What am I looking for now? That's right. We don't need. We don't need. So I need all the rest of this on here until I say goodbye. One of us. One of us. Let's go. Is that that's a YouTube channel? Let's go. Let me go ahead and open up my browser. Go to the tube de vue. Look up. Let's go. Turkey. No, that's not coming up for me, so set me straight. That's the channel name, Let's Go. Okay. Let's go back and get rid of that. And tell it that I want that to be... boy, it's not being nice about giving me results. I got a Let's Go travel tips, but I doubt that's it. Maybe put blacksmith behind it. Yeah. I wasn't absolutely sure from what you said. There we go. I found him. Excellent. Thank you for sharing that with me. Always love learning about another smith on YouTube. Just another person I can hope to aspire to. Keep that there so I can actually, it'll come up top of my subscriptions list now because I just subscribed. Awesome. Thanks for turning me on to that. Lou folks. Well, let's do that. Lou folks. Lou folks arts. I must be typing something wrong. Donkey head. Do if I put blacksmith after it, will it come up? Yep. I got Luffolk Crafts. That's got to be what you mean, Luffolk Crafts, because there's some neat stuff in his. And if it isn't them, I don't care because I'm subscribing to it. Luffolk Crafts. And then you said I need to go look at Donkey Head. Now that sounds tricky. Donkey Head Blacksmith. Let's see. Oh, no, you're talking about on Let's Go, the Donkey Head. Yeah, it's absolutely cute. I was seeing that, and that was something I was definitely going to have to go look at here in a minute. Well, thanks, guys. All the folks out there. I appreciate it. You guys made the live stream awesome today. I really appreciate it. And you know, I just hope you can see the sun's coming out here. I'm going to get a nice little break here so I can go clean out the donkey stall. and yeah, appreciate you being here. Hope to see you next week. And have a great weekend and an awesome week. Next time. Love and light.